Hi guys. So we were going to do this book launch, one arranged marriage slash murder, and I was going to have Taapsee do it as a chief guest. Actually, have it, but courtesy this wonderful event called Corona. I'm being sarcastic. We can't meet. None of us can meet. I can't do a book launch in a mall with lots of people like I always do, and Taapsee can't be here. So we flew Taapsee down to a palace, as you can see. We
Wow,
were
wow,
just
fancy.
lucky. Yeah, and I because it's a one arranged marriage slash murder thing. I also wore
Wow.
something shadi wala, and you are obviously in a palace because we like to treat our guests well, Tapsi, even
Oh
if it's a
my God, I
virtual
should have
thing.
known. I should have asked for a couple of more things then. To just like make myself
Yes,
feel more fancy.
yes. So thank you so much for doing this. I've been really wanting to have my book launched by someone like you, who's very self-made, who's very talented, who's very opinionated. I don't know whether it's a good thing or bad thing, but I
So
am
very
too.
with a big in caps, very.
I'm also opinionated. So it's kind of the things I stand for. I want Indians to be like this. So thank you so much for launching this book. So how do we first should we launch the book, and or do you want to just say hello to people or whatever?
Hi everyone. I've been I remember I'm not an ardent reader of books, but I fortunately or unfortunately have read Chetan's books because
Thank you.
he seems to be writing the kind of stuff that the masses end up reading. And because I was a textbook geek, the only thing that excited me beyond textbook was like good stories, relatable stories. I guess that's what attracted me to his books initially. So that's why I think you are loved by masses so much, because this country seems to love interesting, good stories, movie worthy stories, and you write them. So I'm glad I could be a part of the launch eventually,
Yes.
finally. And I hope this one becomes equally successful like all your other books that you have. I was about to say films, which is almost the same.
Okay, I know. It's good. See, I always believe a story is a story, and a good story works as a book, a good story works as a film. But how do we launch this book? If you were here, we would have cut a ribbon, we would have done something. So we have improvised, guys. I
Yeah.
have to. Tapsi, where are you? Why don't you tell people where you are? This is your
So
usual house.
I no, I'm in outskirts of Jaipur in a palace. I wish this was my house. So yeah, it's a palace, and I'm here in a which is like a hotel room. So now all I could manage was wrapping it in a towel. So here it is, the
And
book
I've
in a
wrapped it in my
towel.
laptop sleeves, so I'm not that much
So
different. So let's unveil
let's
the book,
open it.
and maybe we'll put some music and all
Tudun,
later.
tudun,
Ta-ta-da.
tudun, tudun, tudun.
Okay, guys. So this is One Arranged Murder, which releases today, launched by the wonderful Taapsee. Thank you so much, guys. Please read it. I know there's a lot of video content out there, but I write in very simple ways. My I want people who never read books to read books. As Taapsee just said, we're not the typical book readers. And it's everybody reads them. Movie stars read them, and you guys also read them. Thank you so much, Taapsee. And Taapsee is not just launching the book like a one of those chief guests. She actually read the book, right? Over the last few
Yeah.
days in the middle of shooting a Tamil movie.
Tamil film, yes. I wanted to read the book because generally I like to be aware of what I'm doing, be well informed. So I was like, let me just read the book first because it'd be nice to have a conversation after I've read the book. So yeah, that's why I made an effort to read the book, because and it took me longer than usual because I was busy learning my Tamil lines in between. I've resumed shooting after 5 long months, and you have to just get your bearings and everything in place slowly because you've taken a long break, and then with Tamil lines it takes extra effort out of me
Okay,
to
so
learn those lines.
I know it's my book launch and we'll get into the book, but can you speak one Tamil line that your dialogue?
I mean, a dialogue wise I can talk normally like a normal conversation. இன்னைக்கு
I can't.
நான் இன்னைக்கு உங்க book launchக்கு வந்திருக்கீங்க. So that means I've come for your book launch. um,
Yeah, that just sounds like my in-laws watching Sun TV. But fine, that's what they do. Whenever they're in my house, I can hear those sounds and they're watching Sun TV. Okay, so guys, I honestly, this is honest. I should have probably taken care to ask Taapsee how did she find the book. I just called her for the launch, and I don't even know whether
I
she liked the
finished it
book or
just
not.
today morning. I finished it today morning. So I guess we barely had time to talk about the book in detail. So we just directly, the spontaneous people that we are, we just jumped into things like we all like to jump into things
Yeah,
everywhere. So we are
like we both
jumping into the
spontaneously
launch.
jump into the Twitter sometimes. Okay, so what's your take on the book?
I mean, I've read the previous ones as well, to Revolution at least. So I have I know that you write in a very familiar fashion with very relatable characters. But this one was new for me because it was quite an interesting, crazy, twisty stuff happening in the last climax time. What is interesting is your
Don't, no spoilers, no spoilers, no spoilers,
okay, it
no
starts
spoilers.
off.
Okay,
Okay, I'll tell you what. It's a
good.
nice mixture of colors and a shade of gray coming in.
Yes.
So it's like a nice mixture. You don't expect that kind of grayness coming from a very happy-go-lucky, very nice, interesting, funny conversations and drama happening. So that was quite a twist.
Yeah, and I think you've only read my earlier books, which were all love stories, and you haven't read my, the so-called crime thriller. I mean, I don't
I
write
haven't read your
hardcore
crime.
crime. I don't write like that CID or crime patrol type hardcore
Hmm.
crime. It is still a comedy. It is still romance. It's still a Chetan Bhagat book,
It's
but
still
then
it's
it's
still
suspense.
relationships in different
It's still
ways, right? Yeah.
relationships. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's actually a very simple book, but it's a quite a complicated kind of story. And
Hmm.
the culturally, I didn't want to go wrong. So Punjabi culture, okay, I got that 100%, right? So that and Delhi, I know that 100%.
Hmm.
So then I can dabble in a plot twists and do all those things, and I'm sure people will like it. It's just I think people are changing, and if you see even on web series and a lot of thrillers are coming, so
Hmm.
people like that. And I think for a book, people don't turn the pages until there is a lot of suspense. So a love story can bring some suspense, but nothing like a instead of like did the boy get the girl or not, who killed the girl is more interesting these days, I think.
Yeah, that's what your book, this one is about. Forget about he got or no is not as important as who killed.
Who killed? Yes, maybe I've grown out of love. I think I've just now murders is
So
what I
please
want to
don't
do.
say that. That
I don't.
world seems to be growing out of love. Please don't
I
say
don't
that.
think so. I think so. Okay. Okay. But before you ask me more on this, I want to ask you some questions. So you are doing movies in the South. You're doing a lot of movies in the North. How many films have you done so far?
I don't really count them diligently, but it's been 30 plus
Wow.
films now. Yeah, including my South films, 30 plus films by now.
Okay.
Yeah,
And you are a Delhi girl, which I did
I'm a
not
Delhi
know
girl.
until I saw that show on Amazon Prime, where you actually said about your school and your classmate who was a stand-up comic,
Yes,
right? I
yes,
I don't know.
yes.
Your name sounds like somewhere in the South.
Well, it's picked up from someone in South. My bua used to my bua and Fufaji, they were posted in Kochi because my Fufaji was in Navy. So they ended up hearing this name Taapsee there for some girl's name, and then they decided when I was born that maybe this is an interesting name to keep. Very unlike Sardar family name, where we generally have unisex
No.
names really.
Uh,
So that's
yes,
why it's different.
but I don't think most people know that you're a Sikh name.
Yeah, because of the name primarily, because they think that it doesn't sound like a regular Sardar name. But I think a few minutes of conversation in Hindi, they will get a fair amount of idea.
Okay, okay. And I've always seen that you've made very interesting choices on one. I've also seen you. I think there was this film with. I'm sorry, that with the really amazing songs with Varun Dhawan and all that.
Jurwa too. Yeah,
Jurwa too. And then there is a Thappad,
yeah.
right? And so it's like as poles apart as films as possible. So when the script
See, it
lands on your
has.
desk, what do you think? This is Jurwa too and this is Thappad. Like, how do you choose?
I choose basis, the way. See, you have to make sure the people who are going to watch the film are going to find their money worth it. The same way you write your books, you write it for your audience. The films are also made for the audience. So I also keep in mind, will when the audience walks into the theater and when they walk out of it, will they feel their money was worth it, or it is just sheer waste of time and effort and time primarily more than money, because time doesn't come back, money can still be earned. So I'm very conscious of their time, is why I choose all kinds of variety. I don't stick to only this kind because I know there's an audience for every kind. It just should be worth their time and money.
Okay. This is
Yeah.
175 worth
It
175,
is,
and you get to
it is, it
and you
is,
get to
it
keep
is.
it. You watch a movie, it's gone. You get to keep it, and your other people in the house can read it, and you don't need a charger, and you don't need the electricity.
I'm sure you have a digital copy as well, but
Yes,
I like reading it the old school way. I like to flip the pages. Even with my scripts, I keep a hard copy because I like it like that. I like the fragrance of the pages. I like that. So it's nice that after a long time I have I
the
do
smell
that.
of anything.
Every time I start reading the book, I'm somewhere smelling it also somewhere in between.
Okay, we're gonna put perfume the next time. That's a good
Yeah,
tip,
maybe
actually.
that's an idea for your next book. Maybe try
Yeah.
add some kind of fragrance to it. But it just
Yes.
stimulates your mind as well, the kind of
My
fragrance
God,
you're
I
going to
just thought
put.
of such a great idea. If there's a kitchen scene, there should be like food smell on it. And if
Then
there's
there
a
should be haldi ke daag on it also.
huh,
Then some.
and then when the somebody like a girl's getting ready puts perfume, there should be perfume on it. If this is in the garden, there should be flowers.
Whoa! It's a
That's the
4D book
next
reading
level. 4D book.
experience.
As you can see, always trying new things. Stories, Taapsee, how do you understand India? Because I am a storyteller, so I'm coming to you a lot from the story point of view. What connects you? Like a lot of your films have been about story. Not Judwa 2 is also about story, but Judwa 2 is a commercial out and out
There's
film.
more of a story behind the camera than in front of the camera. Let's just say
Yeah,
that.
but like a Thapad or a Pink or a lot of. I mean, I felt that you have a very good script sense, and it's not like it always goes right, but mostly it has gone right. With that, and I sense is when they are doing a story which I feel like, how did this even get made? Like typically it wouldn't have got the money, and someone has backed it, and they've put their career risk on it, and it kind of make it work also. So I am curious as a storyteller, how do you decide that this story is working?
As I told you, when it lands on my table, I decide to totally hear or read it from an audience point of view. When I hear it and read it, do I feel like is it talking to me? Is it engaging me enough? Is it making me feel like I'm a part of that world or no? Or is it just going OTT, like over the head,
Okay.
not the OTT platform, but yeah,
Yes.
over the head. But that's how I judge between, is the story making sense? Is there any story at first place? Or you're just like putting together gags? That's
Yeah.
also, a style of filmmaking that people do take up. So I think of it like that. It should make me feel like I'm a part of it. It should connect me with one or the other character that's there on screen. At least one. It doesn't have to be protagonist all the time. Can be
Mm.
any other character, but has to have a certain connect. So that is very important for any story to work, I feel. Like even like your characters are so familiar. I'm sure any kind of age group or background person from a middle class family reading it will end up knowing, okay, I know this sort of a person, or I can connect with this sort of a person. So I think that really helps to suck you into the world of the
Yeah,
story.
yeah. So we call it characterization in
Yeah.
when we write books, and it's basically a very, what is a story? It's obviously the plot that, okay, a man went here and he was
Hmm.
digging for gold and he found gold. That's a story. But what was the man about?
Yeah, yeah.
Why
That's
did
the
he want
layer,
that
right?
gold?
That's what adds
That's a
the
layer.
layer.
Why did he want that gold? Why did he wanted it to, educate his child? Now that brings another
Hmm.
whole dimension to it, right? And
Yeah.
he wanted the money because he couldn't pay the bills for his wife's illness or something.
Hmm.
That is something immediate sympathy comes, relatability comes. So I think
Hmm.
we look at character, and for me, I also do a lot of talks, a lot of motivation talks around the country, which are not happening right now, but I
Hmm.
must have done hundreds in. So when I go to different cities of India, I'm getting a chance to see firsthand. So a lot of the characters you see in my books are coming from there. When the book is written, I test it with different age groups before it comes out. So like a Prerna, who is of course a girl keeping Karwa Chauth and she dies, but she's also an internet entrepreneur. She's also got some
So which
dreams.
characters in this one were really in? I mean, I don't want to know who. I just want to know who all in the book were inspired from some real characters that you have seen in
Yeah,
real.
so I think I don't without revealing too much, but like there is Prerna in the book, who's an internet entrepreneur. I think that is based on certain people, I've seen some girls who are very ambitious and they are very good at their careers, but there is a rootedness, there is a tradition. They're still traditional in some ways. At home,
Hmm.
they'll come home and they will follow the norm. They may not be like rebelling all the time, but at the same time, when they go to work, they may be opening an internet startup, they may be coding, but when they come home, they will listen to their mom. They'll live in their joint family. They'll behave like a typical Indian girl, no judgment. And then I also have a character like Anjali who just wants to live life on her own terms, and she is living in the same house, but she feels that it's too stifling. I mean, why, she wants to date whoever she wants or work wherever she wants, or she wants to smoke or things like that. So I found these characters in real life around me, and I've obviously it becomes much better if I say that, okay, this is based on person X, I know this is based on person Y, I know. But as you evolve as a writer, like now this is my ninth book, Prerna could be based on three people I know, and I will merge their personalities because I can do it. Or after writing this book, so people said it's like that.
Yeah, yeah. It's not that it gives you the same, like the feeling of the scenario or the
Yeah.
situation,
So even
so many characters and all of that because of
so
that.
historically, there have been these typical English mysteries, which have been the butler did it. A murder happens at a party, and the butler did it. I thought,
Hmm.
how much more interesting will it be if I change the British stiff upper lip party to a Punjabi wedding?
Hmm.
Because in India, you don't just investigate a murder case like Britain, like by saying you seven other suspects. Someone is a Mamaji, someone is a Taiji, somebody will get hurt, somebody has the politics, somebody doesn't like someone, somebody has this motive, somebody may have is greedy, somebody is envious. So I just felt if we bring that Indianness to this story and I treat it like a classic murder plot, which is a lot of people in the family, a lot of people in one place, a lot of suspects, and create a lot of twists and turns. I thought it might work. We will know. Today the book comes out.
Hmm.
So on my page itself, within a few hours, there'll be reactions. We started the pre-ordering 30, 40 days ago. And
Okay.
we still enjoy that process. I know it's like where the people book it's like a first day, first show for your movies.
Yeah. Is advanced
So
booking?
it's advanced booking, and then
Yes.
it will be delivered to your house today. Most pin codes, guys, it's coming today, 28th September. But if you live a little farther away and Amazon, Flipkart need a little more time, please don't get angry. Definitely don't get angry at them, and please definitely don't rate the book badly, man. It's got nothing to do with me, the delivery, because sometimes
Don't
the ratings were,
don't read the book in anger.
yeah, and you don't know what, like, people will rate the book based on the delivery time, but that's not my fault, right? They'll say, but the guy came late. What can I do? So, guys, it will come. And of course,
Just
there is
take it in a
Kindle.
positive way. They're anxious to read your book. I think
They
you
are
should just
anxious,
take it in
yes.
that way.
And there is Kindle if you people prefer that way. And and there is Audible, which is a new thing. I don't know if you ever heard
Yeah.
a audiobook
I
Taapsee, but that's
downloaded
another.
Audible, and then I was again, as I told you, the time really with my
Mhm.
dialogues and all, learning it up, it just took it away. I just downloaded it before coming here, and this is the only book that I've been able to read. But I have Kindle as well, and I have downloaded Audible recently to read, to hear at least, if not read.
Do you have any dream roles or parts, or is there, you've kind of got everything in life already? What do you do
Don't
with
say
the rest
that.
of your
You
life,
calling
Taapsee?
me? It's high time you just need to retire.
No, I
No,
know
I
I
just
didn't have time award or anything, but I'm just saying, I'm saying it because I have felt that. Honestly, I feel like in writing world, I'm still not that old, and people take a long time to get their first hit as a writer, and I've had so many. In some ways, it kind of scares you that what else to do now. And I
yeah.
wonder, do you feel like,
No, I that pressure is there, which I enjoy. I
hmm,
like the pressure of what better or what now. Like now you've done this, now move on. What next? I don't. One good or bad quality about me is probably that I don't hold on to my success for a long time. I like to jump to the next because I feel if I keep holding on to it for a long time, it just might make my vision blurred in terms of where I want to go ahead. So I try to move on very quickly. So that in those terms, if I think, if you ask me, there's only one kind of role that I've been like conspiring in the universe and wanting to do it, and I don't know if and when it'll ever happen also, is no it's the Avengers universe. I want to be a part of
Wow.
that. So
Wow.
I always
Which
thought I
one do you
want to
want
be
to
the.
be?
No, I would want to rather. I want to be an Indian female superhero in the Avengers
I think you'll
world.
do really well in like an X-Men or something. Okay,
Of
if you were in
that,
X-Men, what would be your superpower?
I love Jean in X-Men. The power she has on. She has everything. She's just controlling everything. So with her
Okay.
mind and with basically her mind. So I think
Yeah,
that
yeah.
will be ideal. But if
That's
not an
mine too.
Avengers, I wanted to like. When I saw Captain Marvel, I was like, I think I would have done a very good job doing this.
Wow. No, I mean, for me also, a writer's main job, for me, my dream is to like influence a generation. Not
Hmm.
just through my story. When it's, of course, I write books, I also write articles and all, but even in my books, there is a lot of telling about India. Like a Prerna is inspiring to some people, or like even the Anjali can be inspiring to some people. It's just an India where, which is more the modern India, you know. So I think I try to push the limits and give people ideas on how they can be in life, not murderers,
Hmm.
but even though it's a murder mystery, but the characters like Keshav, someone like a Keshav who never gives up, or a Saurabh, who are kind of like they're not extraordinary people. They're detectives. They're bumbling. They're making mistakes. They're not superheroes, but they are still my hero because to me a hero is not someone who always wins. A hero is someone who never gives up,
Hmm.
or and that I'm not being gender specific. I feel uh,
Yeah.
that's what it is. Okay, so I think before we talk of stories and the book again, we should talk about what's been going on in the larger
A
social
lot.
media universe, because this is way too much positivity, Taapsee. We have to start fighting by now.
I think who expects me to fight so much in person or in real, when they have a conversation with me, is going to be majorly disappointed. Even on my
Yeah.
social media,
No,
I am not.
whenever I'm speaking to you on the phone or even now, most will agree, and maybe it's just the hairband, but it's like you come across very sweet. But the tweets can be hard hitting. Like
But
you,
they're again not very. If you see my tweets, I don't think I have very aggressive style of writing things, because
no,
I don't write in a very derogatory manner, to
no
derogatory
personal
towards
attacks.
anyone,
Yeah,
even the people who I might feel haven't done the right thing. I wouldn't ever write things derogatory way, because as I feel that everyone has a reason for being the way they are. So let's just not be judgmental and try to pass comments on them, especially when you're at a platform where there are people who look at you with an idealistic point of view, or they look up to you, or they've kept you in a pedestal, they've given you that star position. So at least you can do is at least maintain the dignity, and I would like to maintain that, even though inside I might be just like, oh, wanting to scream or shout, but I'll be like, no, I've been given this position. I need to respect and value it.
okay. And I'm asking you this because people ask me this a lot. Why say it? Because a lot of the common advice in India is, to me, from my own mother, it has come. Tenu ki lod pai hai? I'm sure you
So
understand
for my
Punjabi.
dad, it keeps coming. It
है
keeps
ना,
coming
same exact
regularly.
same dialogue, right? Tenu ki
Yeah.
lod pai hai?
Huh.
Why do we
Right.
do it? Why do we do it?
I think just it makes us breathe well. It makes us sleep well. It makes us look at ourselves in the mirror happily. It just makes us honest and clear, clear human beings, which we like. I'll enjoy that feeling of being honest and transparent. I've really cherished that feeling. So I don't if I don't know about something, I will not talk about it. Even if you keep poking me and asking me to comment on that, I will not speak about it, because I feel if I don't have full knowledge of something, I will not speak about it. But when I feel I know something about this and I have a point of view, and I'm not taking personal digs at anyone, or being abusive or derogatory. So I will put my point across and make sure that I call out the sin and not the sinner, and that's why my opinions sound the
Yeah.
way they sound, and it just gives me a life to be sure that when I'm not hiding skeletons, hidden skeletons in my closet. So what exactly should scare me from putting across something in a very fair point of view,
Yeah.
not meaning to pull someone down. So that's where it comes from.
In fact, I found you and I are very similar in this. You call it, I talk about the sin, not the sinner. I say, when I talk about the government, I say, I talk about criticizing the government policies. not individual people. Because my interest is in changing policy.
Hmm.
When I'm talking of politics, even for me, it's more about should we do this or not? Is the farmers bill good or not? And
Hmm.
if it's there, and how does it matter? Like,
Hmm.
talking about people and making personal attacks. But I guess both of us have this desire to be people pleasers. We want to be liked also, but we want to see
Hmm.
the truth of what we feel also. And I often struggle with it because I'm like, why can't I like India and Bollywood at the same time? Now, why do I have to choose today?
Yeah, why?
Right?
Who asks? I mean, who is making this statement that Bollywood and India are on the opposite sides of a line?
Yeah, but it's
It's
happening. And people tell you, why are you being friends? Like, you are friends with everyone in Bollywood, so am I. Right?
yeah.
And
I don't have any hatred or negative feelings towards anyone. Even the ones who probably didn't give me great opportunities doesn't make me hate them for not giving me
no, because
opportunities.
you kind of understand that they were under a lot of pressure, and it's just super competitive. And for me also, people have been trying to get films made, and they don't get made. And for you may have wanted some parts, and you didn't get.
Yeah, it
It, it
happens to all of us here.
it happens to all of time. You and I have spoken about working together, but it's not worked out till now.
Hmm.
But I understand the day it aligns for you and me, it will happen. But
Yeah.
it's suddenly changed. Suddenly, it's like why do you think it's happening? This
Also,
kind of
Chetan, I feel
negativity.
I don't think it is calling it as a full-fledged out and out change. I think will be slightly unfair. I feel on social media, if you're only judging by that, you should understand that only the ones who have so much of negativity, hatred, and they can be paid trolls, they can be bots, they can be whoever, they are the ones who make the noise. That's why we hear them more. The
Yeah.
sensible ones who are not at all bothered about this, who know what the truth is, or whatever they wanted to know, they know of it, and they want to move on to other important things in life, don't bother, is why they are not as many of them active or
Yes.
vocal on social media.
No.
I know so many of them around me who have nothing to do with
No.
film
It happens,
industry
and,
and
I sometimes tell journalists who will put articles on Chetan gets trolled for this,
hmm, hmm.
and they'll put the 10 tweets trolling me. But I'll tell them, did you see the 13,000 likes on that post?
And did you go and see
Those
the profiles of those people
are
trolls who are
no.
clearly bots and these paid accounts?
Yeah, but 13,000 people have liked it. 13,263 likes. They are human beings. So give their names also, that these people liked the post and these 10 people said nasty things. Do you get hate on social
Of
media?
course I do. I've been getting it for years because
And
a
I
girl
get a
in this
lot.
industry.
Yeah, I get a lot. But one aspect the guys are spared is the character. Though even that is changing nowadays. Uh, yes, but so
So
we are getting a
sad.
taste of.
Welcome to
No,
our
now,
world then.
yeah, I'm getting a taste of how someone can just assassinate your character, and but it's still much less than what girls get,
Hmm.
and it's so easy.
Hmm.
I'm being honest. It's so easy to accuse any successful girl of having used
Yeah.
certain ways to get successful.
Yeah.
It's just the easiest thing in the world. And if someone is attractive, then of course, then it's 100 times easier.
Hmm.
But that's not true.
Yeah.
That's just not how it works, because that's the
Hmm.
simplest trick in the game. And if that
Hmm.
was the all it took, then we'd see a lot more people getting. So how does that affect you?
Initially, it used to a couple of years back when it was new. Now it doesn't, honestly. It doesn't, not even for a second. Now I know either it's the case of Angur mile nahi to Angur khatte,
Hmm.
or it's the case of the power of sitting behind a screen where you can be anonymous, you cannot be held responsible. It gives you a high to call out and abuse anyone who's relevant or important. That power that social media has given you, you want to abuse it because in your life you never got that power before. So there are those kind of people. Someone recently in an interview asked me, have you come across an angry fan or angry person in real, considering the amount of trolling or hatred you receive on social media? And I was like, actually no. And I don't roam around with bodyguards. I walk around normally on streets in Mumbai, or even sometimes in Delhi when I go around. I have never come across someone who from a distance also has said something hateful or mean towards me. But they've never said something hateful or mean, the kind of stuff that I hear on social media for my comments. So basically, they're not there in the real world. They get this thrill to sit behind a screen and get that power of actually matters to the country, or people. When people look up to a certain person and you have the power to abuse that person, that gives them a thrill.
I have gone to the next level on this. I have sometimes some haters. I have anonymously then written to them and said, "You've been sending tweets to Mr. Bhagat, and you actually write very good English. So would you like to work for us?" And they immediately turn.
No, I've had some
They turn. They say,
verified.
"Actually,
I've
we are very big
verified
fans."
trolls also turning
Yeah.
like that. I've verified
Yes.
trolls who've DM'd me and said that please don't mind whatever I say. It's all in fun and humor.
Yeah.
A
Yeah.
verified troll has
Yeah.
sent me this DM.
Yeah. No, I've been told that. I just say it to improve you. Like, I said, wow, man. Thanks, mom. I mean, and and there used to be a show, actually. There was a show that Arjun Rampal hosted, in which they make you meet a hater by surprise.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
they
yeah,
got,
yeah, yeah,
yeah. So
yeah,
even
yeah,
there,
yeah.
she just totally changed. And she said, actually, my mom's a big fan. Everybody is a big fan. And I'm like, why do you have so many fans? So it was just like twice. And a lot of people have written to me and said, I've read all your books and they're all crap. And I'm like, why would you
You've
read
read
all?
all the books? Yeah,
Why would you read all? If I hate a book, I will never read that writer again. I won't even
yeah.
finish the first one. But I've read 9, and what did you mean in those 9 books? I'm like, okay, maybe you read the 10th one, then you
That's just an
respond.
attention seeker, not really a
Fine.
hater.
But I'm really glad that you are not taking it, letting it affect you personally, because it can. And it
Yeah.
has, we've seen cases where if people really take social media hate to heart, and
Yeah,
it's
I know a lot
also,
of them. It really affects them, because at the end of the day, this work is, you're gonna sell your books to the audience, right? And we are selling our tickets to the same audience. Sometimes the social media just makes us believe in this virtual world, and we confuse it with it for the real world. Whereas in the real world, people are not that hateful or bitter. They have their own life problems to cater to. They are not really bothered to poke into someone else's life for too long. They'll move on. But virtual media, I mean, social media especially, makes you believe in this virtual world, which is not really real. So people
yeah.
do get affected.
The other thing I think you and I have in common on social media is people don't know whether we are right or left. And that's really difficult for them.
I'm just
That is
aligned in the
so
center.
difficult.
I'm just very
I also
nicely
said,
aligned in the
I
center.
said, I don't want to be the right wing of the plane. I don't want to be the left wing of the plane. I want to be the engine of the plane. I want to sit inside the plane. Why the hell are you putting me on a wing? I don't believe, but people get very uncomfortable with that. And I think you
Yeah,
are not.
I like this line. I'm gonna steal this line from you and use it in the
Yeah.
future when people ask me the same thing.
No,
I
because
like to be
it's
the
a
engine. I want to sit in the plane.
no, because I think there is, if you want to call it centrist, you can,
Hmm.
but it doesn't really mean anything. But I think we see it issue by issue, situation by situation. Nobody is doodh ka dhula, and nobody
Yeah,
is paap ka ghada, I think.
yeah, yeah.
And but there is that, and nowadays the best thing is to put a word gang out of it.
Everything is about gangs. You're
Just
in
put the
some or the
word
other
gang.
gang, gang or
Yeah,
camp. You are in. You have to be neither of them. How dare you
yeah.
not be in either
So
of
we are not getting a good gang membership.
them?
You know, we are not in a gang. Like, is Taapsee in the outsider gang? Well, I
Oh,
don't know. She's friends with
no.
everybody. But is she an insider? No, she's not blue-blooded. So who is she? And same for
Yeah.
me. They're like, is he for me, people are even confused. Is he part of Bollywood or not? Then the inside-outside question comes. So I think it's nice. I actually really wear that proudly. I feel like I am Chetan Bhagat. I'm not.
Hmm.
If I'm not a sheep, and I think
Yeah,
that's my.
yeah.
And I think as a writer, you must have your own independent voice. If you,
Hmm.
the day I want to be a wing, I will join that wing, and I will make my career about that wing. But I think I'm not planning to. Are you planning to be
No,
in
no, I don't think
politics?
I'm that smart.
Are you're very smart.
No, not
I
that smart.
not that smart,
Not
not that
that
smart.
smart.
The next level of smart. Yeah, for
Yeah,
me is
I
like.
mean, that
But
is too
they say
smart.
that actually it's interesting because they say that you have to act a lot as a politician. Like you have to keep a straight face and make promises that you know that ye kabhi pura nahi karenge hum, but theek hai. But
Yeah,
as an
it's
actor,
acting.
you can't do it.
No, once the camera is off, I can't act, and I'm horrible at it. I've had instances where people have just caught me in front of my face, lying or trying to avoid a situation. It has not really helped. So everybody who knows me well, he's like, just don't expect her to perform or act beyond camera or set. So I'm horrible at it. So anybody who's gonna take me in their party is gonna fail miserably. So I'm gonna advise them not to take me in any party.
Political party, you mean?
Political party, yeah. Other party also, I don't really go much, but still.
Other party also. That's another thing we have in common. Nobody invites us to these parties. I'm hearing about these. I'm hearing about these wild parties, and I'm like, why was I not invited? Am I such an uncle? कभी बुला तो
No,
ले.
I know half the reason why I'm not invited, because I'm a party pooper, a verified party pooper by everyone who knows me, because I sleep off at around 10, and after sunset, I don't know, it's something, I'm like this jadoo on earth whose energy comes from the sun. So I wake up every day morning fresh and full of energy, buzzing around in the house. And the moment the sun sets at like around 7:38ish, I'm like, okay, now where's the bed? Let's just start just moving around the bed and sleep soon. So I don't think I'm a very exciting party person to be
No,
invited.
we are both. We are not. Neither are we getting the fun parties, not political parties.
We're partyless people.
We are partyless people, and that's why we are fair game. Left wing also will attack us. Right wing will also attack us.
I'll sit in the
And
plane.
we
Whichever
sit in
side,
the
I'm
plane.
just
We'll
in the
sit in the
plane.
plane, and that is that. Anything else you want to ask me? Any other thoughts or experience of reading the book?
I just want to know, you how long you're going to keep continuing this mysteries now, because I heard the last one was also a mystery, right? It was
Yeah,
also
that was my first mystery. In fact, if you want, whenever you get the time, The Girl in Room 105, it's not
that
a
was also a
prequel.
murder. It's also a
It's also
murder
Keshav and
mystery.
Saurabh.
Okay. Oh,
It's
okay.
about Keshav's girlfriends, Zara. It's about
Okay.
how the
No,
names
I
he
saw the
reflected.
trailer.
So there is a reason for that. I mean, a lot of youngsters are watching phones and video content all the time, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. So if I show a 1 minute trailer, it's like they are watching a video, and if they want to, it ends at a suspense point, right? All trailers. So if you want to know what happened, you have to pick up the book. So it's trying to wean people from film to the book, and that's really a marketing strategy. I've always tried to go to people who never read books, because I think
Hmm.
those are much more in number than the existing readers will pick it up anyway. So I think that's why the thought of that. But yes, thoda
It's
फिर भी
clearly working.
connection.
It's working for you. So great.
In fact, it's very hard to make a promo for a book, because when you make a promo from a film, the film's already there. So you cut
Yeah.
1 minute out of it, and that's your
Yeah.
promo.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
there is
Yeah.
no
Yeah.
film.
Yeah.
So how do you make a
Yeah.
promo? So we have to shoot
So
it.
you write a script for a
We write a
trailer
script,
also. Hmm.
and we made it like literally in 1 day. But yeah, thanks a lot. I think we can wrap up now. We got enough, and you have to go back to your
To my
palace
shoot,
and your
yes.
family. Are you shooting? Like, it's literally a break in the middle of a shoot, right?
Yes, yes. I took a little bit of break and I have to go back. I'm shooting a sword fighting sequence. So I'm to just go back and slit a few throats there.
It's like Kill Bill. You're doing your Avengers work, Lorula.
No, I want to like fly and be the superhero and save the world, because that's all it's about these days. Save the
You
country,
don't
save the
actually,
world.
you don't get to fly, right? They put you in a room with green screen and they tie you up in strings.
At least I can see myself flying when it eventually comes on screen. At least
I'm just
that.
letting you know, you will not go over the Worli ceiling zipping away, even if the scene is that. Although that does sound cool. And
Yeah.
yeah, no. And I also heard that you are doing a movie of an athlete now. You're working.
Yeah, yeah. I'm working on building a body which is going to look similar, at least if not same, like a sprinter, which is hardest I feel to attain, because they have worked for years and they are like at their fittest best sprinters, and to get into that shape in limited time, like 3 months or so, is close to impossible. I'm trying my best, so every day I wake up around like 5, I do my 2 hours of training in the gym
Wow.
or on the track, and then go to shoot for 12 hours. So by the time I'm done for the day, I'm done. I fall flat on the bed dead.
No parties for you.
Yeah, no. Dream parties will happen. I'll make it as easy, rosy, and convenient as the world thinks this profession
Yes, so
is.
you do a running, and you're obviously doing the shoot. Now you launched the book. You're obviously on a diet. Are you hungry?
I just had my mid-meal, which is handful of peanuts, roasted peanuts.
Wow.
So that's done. Now I'm
I'm
gonna jump.
always curious. Are actresses always hungry? Do you dream
No,
mostly of food?
no, I'm not. Fortunately, I've never been on that diet. But for this film, because it again requires a certain amount of protein intake, is why I'm following a certain kind of diet. But usually, I am not a diet following person. I would rather work out extra to burn it
Hmm.
out. But I will not compromise on food. I'm not Delhi Sardani. I can't live
Pradhani, yeah,
without
they can't
my
do it. No,
chole
no, won't say.
bhature and all those stuff. I
It, it,
can't.
it gives it's an existential crisis. There's a
It
line
is.
in the book.
It
It is,
changes my mood. It changes
in fact,
my.
Saurabh, in the book, Saurabh eats a lot of Delhi
Yeah,
food.
of course, yeah. I can totally understand that because
And
I
he
know
says
many of such
going on a
people like
diet is, we love food, and going on a diet is
love
like
food.
giving up some, it's
We
like going through a
genuinely
breakup.
live to eat. We
Yes.
genuinely live to eat.
So that
Yeah.
is always a problem. Punjabis and carbs, I mean, separating them is like separating a mother and child or something. It's very bad. So, but no, I mean, I'm glad you're doing it. Thank you so much for doing this.
My
Absolutely nailed it.
pleasure.
And you have the book, and I will be putting this up. And yeah, please, thank you once
Good
again.
luck for the
All the
book. Good luck for the book. I hope, as I said, it should be a roaring success like the
yes,
previous
let's
ones.
pick it up. And guys, do pick it up, order it, and thank you so much, Taapsee. And yeah, that was one arranged murder
Thanks.
launch. Bye.
Cheers.
Bye.